I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 652. We're doing morning stretching. And if you participate in the morning stretching in the second half of the video, it is at your own risk. Now, we prepared, and already more or less rehearsed, a video about, which has the title, or the long title, Tips from the Life in, or Tips in the Life in UK test handbook to become a part of a British society. And we want to say the 5 fundamental principles and the 5 other things when behaving as a neighbor. And that was here. To introduce yourself to your neighbors when you move in, and they can be a help for information. They can feed your pet. They can say you where local shops and the services are. You can prevent problems by respecting their privacy, limit your noise, keep your garden tidy, and put only the refuse bags and bins on the street on the day which they are collected. And if people are taking part of a jury service, they should take the responsibility to keep the country safe and make a legal and be part of a legal system which makes the country safe and works. And people can help at their children's school. There are some days in which children are reading to adults. Parents can often help in classrooms by supporting activities to listen to children read. And they can look out for notes which are at the school published or where children bring home, where they can maybe help at food sales, book sales, toy sales, to get extra money for out of school activities. Again, also say out of school activities, and extra equipment. People can also become school governors to help to improve the school, to look that the school performs good, to ensure accountability and set a strategic direction of the school. And people can help in many ways in local services. They can work in the governing body, at universities or at museums or at art councils. People can work as volunteer in many different things. They can work at charities. There is REG UK looking for the elderly, or NSPCC looking for children, or PDSA looking for animals, or Cancer Research UK collecting money to work against cancer, or at Crisis and Shelter looking after the homeless people, and also National Trust, where over 61,000 people looking after the buildings in the United Kingdom, the coastline and the countryside, their property, and they are protected for future generations. National Trust, National Heritage, and at Friends of the Earth, for example, looking after the environment. And people can also, if they like, to donate their blood to help people in hospitals who had an accident, lost blood, or to treat illnesses. And people can also decide that after they've died, they want to donate their blood, donate their organs to people. Can people donate their blood after they die? And they can also decide to donate their organs after they die to other people who had an organ failure or an accident, so that they might live on. And looking after the environment, looking not to make so much waste and rubbish. And if people want to change the country, they can become part of political parties. They can go around canvassing and campaigning for the party. They can knock at other people's door, canvassing called, and say them that they should vote for their political party and why that is important. And then if many people vote for you, you can become part of the government and decide what happens in the country. Let's try to do it. I have a second camera rolling and I try to say Tips from the Life in UK test handbook to become part of a British society. Now, first of all, the fundamental principles and values of the United Kingdom should be respected. Democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, tolerance of those with different faiths and beliefs, and participation in community life. And then a bit more profound, respect others and their opinions, to treat others with kindness, and to look after yourself and your family and your environment. Then they say us that we should try to be good neighbors. When we move in, we should introduce ourselves to our neighbors. They can be a help in saying where local shops are. They can look after your pets if you're away for some time. And also try to respect their privacy and to keep your garden tidy and not to be too loud. And also to only put your refuse bags and bins out on the day which they are collected. When can people become part of local community? They can look if they can work or help, volunteer in governing bodies of universities, museums, art councils. And they can volunteer in many different ways at charities. There's Age UK, for example, helping the elderly, or NSPCC, they are helping children, or PDSA, they are looking after animals. People can work at or volunteer at Cancer Research UK, trying to fight cancer, or at other things. And for example, the National Trust, they can then look, there are 60,000 volunteers, and they are looking after the buildings, the countryside, the castles, the coastline, that they are keeping properly for future generations as heritage of the United Kingdom. And people can also, if they want to, donate their blood, so that other people who had an accident or an illness can get new blood, or they can also decide that after they've died, their organs should be donated and transplanted to other people who had an organ failure or an accident, so that they can live on. And people should try to look after the environment, are telling us. They should look that they don't produce so much waste and rubbish, and that there are things they are recycled, so the things then are cheaper because not new raw materials have to be digged up from the earth. And also, if it's possible, because it's cheaper and doesn't emit so much carbon, to look if public transport is made available, or to go by foot instead of using a car. And if people want to have change, they can become part of political parties, and then they can campaign for a political party. They can, for example, go around canvassing, knock at people's doors, and try to tell them why we should vote for their political party. And if people are then voted for, then you can then become part of government and decide what happens in the country. And that is according to the Live UK Test Handbook on several pages, for example 142 and 143. Now, I already saw before I opened the page, I forgot to have a school council, but it didn't really fit. No, it began to say. It was a little too late, and I think I didn't remember to tell it, because it didn't really fit the way I told it all. The whole way I addressed it all with a tonation and the word's choice. It doesn't really fit to talk about school in that case, I think. That's why I didn't remember it. So we keep it out, that was good. I'm going to stop the camera. And we're going to do the morning stretching. If you're here we have 3 videos more planned. Not yet. We want to make a video about the 47 Commonwealth members and show on the map where they all are. A video about the government, and a video about the 7-8 battles named in the book. So if you're here for one of it, you can go directly to the next video. We will do now the morning stretching. If you participate in the morning stretching, that is at your own risk. The legs are standing around shoulder width wide apart, and we're doing forward shoulder circles. We're going back, up, in front, and down. Again, back, up, in front, and down. And now backwards, in front, up, back, and down. Again, in front, up, back, and down. Last time. And now we're breathing in and lifting the shoulders up. And out. And in, lift the arms up, of shoulders. And out. And in, lift the shoulders up. And out. And in, lift the shoulders up. And out, shoulders down. And now the upper plank. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And now reach high. Take an apple hanging high on an apple branch to turn it around and imagine it and center plug it. And the last 2. And now we're doing the shifter. Arms up to the side, legs wide apart. We're breathing in. And out, we're going over to one side, just with the upper part of the body. Again, into the middle, and out over to the other side. Again, into the middle, and out over to the other side. Again, in, and out. Now into the middle, and out, we're leaning onto our knees, the buffalo fighting its hangover. We're breathing in, and out, we're bringing one shoulder in front. Breathe in, bring one shoulder back, and out. And again in the back. And out. And in. And out. One more round, breathe in. Out. In. And out. And in. And out, we're hanging down. And breathe in. And out with the one leg. Again in. And out onto the other leg. Again in. Out into the middle. Breathing in. And out, we're coming slowly up. Round back and making it topple backwards. Shoulder roll. Another garden pose, toss up body to the outside. We're having an ulnar space between the heels and the building and the outside. And out, we're sinking down and placing the elbows against the inside of the knees. Now we're going to straighten up the back. And out, we're coming with the back. Again. And out again down. Breathe in and straighten up the back. And out again with the back up. Again in. Out back into the garden pose. Breathing in, straighten up the back. And out, we're coming slowly in one straight line upwards. And the seahorse pose. Now the 3 next countries are. We're doing over 47 countries of Commonwealth. I have to realize it. It's before the part of the police. Okay. Malta, Mauritius, Mozambique. One good standing leg, the other leg with the heel on top of the knee of the standing leg. Breathe in. Do as only if you can do it without to injure yourself, and we're sinking down. Now Malta, that must be, I think it's not on the map. Mozambique is here in Africa next to Madagascar. So west of the island, the big island before Africa. At the southeast, Mozambique. Next to Malawi and also Eswatini, or Swaziland, and close to Lesotho and Botswana. In Africa we have also Gabon, Ghana, there was Kenya. Virginia Beleg. Somewhere was Kenya in Africa. And Cameroon, that we have the Gambia, Guyana, and Ghana. And somewhere is Kenya. Can't find it right now. Okay, Mozambique is here opposing to Madagascar. Malta must be somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea. Malta and Mauritius. I think that's also not there. Okay, I can't find Mauritius, but let's enter Mauritius and try if we find it in. They have a Europe map. Closing exercise for breathing in. And out. Again in. And out. And last strong breathe in. And out. Again in. Out. Breathe in, cross the legs. And out. So let's look if we have the European map. We have Italy, we have Europe. Now I can't find Malta, and I don't really know where Mauritius is. Malta, south of Sicily. Here's the UK, there's France, there's Italy, there's Sicily, and there is Malta. Okay, Mauritius is the one we can't find. In the Mediterranean Sea we have now Cyprus and Malta as part of the Commonwealth. Okay, I'm gonna look up where Mauritius is. So thank you very much, and until next time.